In this video, I will show you what it takes to really become fluent in French. Specifically, I will give you 3 things that you need to do in order to become and stay fluent. So if that sounds interesting, keep watching. My name is Angel Preto, and on this channel, we talk about what it really takes to learn French. This video is a follow-up on the previous 2 videos, respectively about how to learn French for beginners and how to learn French for intermediate students. Now we are focusing on what it takes to reach advanced levels and what to do when you get there. But if you aren't there yet, please don't click away, because the advice in this video will be invaluable to you as well. It will help you set your goals and know what you are shooting for in your French studies. Knowing where you are going is absolutely key to your French learning journey. You cannot hit a target that you can't see. And this is actually my first point in this video. Number 1, have a clear idea of what being fluent means to you. I have already made a video about the definition of fluency, so I will put it up here, but concretely for this video here, the idea is that you really want to define very clearly what fluency means to you. What are the goals that you want to achieve? Maybe you have an international business and you want to work with French speakers. Maybe you have French speakers in your family and you want to communicate with them. Or maybe you just want to have a great time when you travel and go to places where no one speaks English. All of these are absolutely great goals, and you just need to have a very clear picture of them, because reaching each and every one of them will require very different skills. And if you don't care about international business, quite frankly, you don't want to learn the French skills for that. You just want to learn the French skills that it takes to talk to your family or, for example, to travel. So no matter where you are right now, if you're a complete beginner or if you're already at an advanced level, you need to have a crystal clear pictures of what fluency looks like to you. This is so critical that whenever someone starts working one-on-one with me or whenever someone joins one of my programs, this is always the first step. Define clearly what are your goals and what fluency will look like once you achieve it. It's just that critical. There is no, oh, let me just learn the basics and then see what I want to do with it. No, you want to see first where you are going and then head there directly. I can see why some people would want to just learn the basics and later see what to do with them, but honestly that will only get you frustrated and make you waste your time. Also, having a very clear pictures of what you want to achieve with your French skills will help you with the second point of this list, which I have called enough is enough. Now, I'm pretty sure you didn't expect a teacher and a native speaker to tell you that, but there is such a thing as having learned enough French. Of course, you can always learn more and more and more and more, and there is potentially no end to it, but at some point, enough is enough. I know you weren't expecting a teacher and a native speaker to tell you that, but it is true. Sometimes enough is enough. And even though you could study French endlessly and you could always refine it and learn more words and learn more nicer things to say and better sentence structures and get to read more complex books and whatnot, at some point just enough is enough. And if not all the natives in your life understand it, then that's also okay. Sometimes when I tell the German speakers around me, I live in Vienna, Austria, and people around me speak German, I mean most of them, and when I tell them that I've just decided that I wasn't going to learn more German because my German is just good enough, and even though I'm not completely perfect and I still make mistakes, it's okay for me because I don't need more German, I just need enough Germans to walk around and do the shopping, and if I have to go to some office and just do some official formality, I can do it, and that's just enough for me. And if the natives here don't understand that, yes, their language is not everything in my life and I might want to dedicate my time to something else, then that's also okay. And I know it's perhaps weird to hear a French coach and a French native tell you that, but at some point you have the French skills that you need, and that's enough. And teachers are even worse because typically they're fond of their topic and they just don't understand why you wouldn't want to get better and better and better at it. But I do. And by the way, I'm not a teacher, I'm a coach, and that is part of where the difference between teaching and coaching resides. As your coach, my only concern is that you get what you need out of my coaching and out of the French language in general. Nothing more, nothing less. So you might still be making mistakes here and there, and in fact all speakers, even natives, make mistakes, and that's just okay, it's how it is. Don't be too much of a perfectionist with that. Enough is enough. And my last tip, my third tip on this list, is to keep practicing at your desired level. This is easy to understand, but it is also easier said than done. And this might sound like bad news to you if you've never heard of that, but the language tends to decay if you don't practice it. Even your native language, actually. If you don't practice a language, your brain will think, oh, okay, I guess this language is just not relevant, and will just put it at the back, like, in the attic, and just leave a layer of dust on it. You will not be forgetting the language. I don't believe that it is possible at all to forget a language, but your neural pathways will become weaker and weaker, and it will be harder to fire them when you need them. So this means that you could be in a situation where you feel like you have forgotten everything, while really you haven't forgotten anything, but your neural pathways have just become less strong, and it will take you some time to warm up and some practice to just become fluent again. You can avoid this by just practicing constantly at your desired level and just doing a little bit of French every day, or perhaps at least every week. Listening to a movie or a video here and there and having a conversation with a friend here and there, just to keep your French warm and keep it at your desired level. So for example, this is definitely the case with me with Spanish and Portuguese. I have been speaking these languages fluently in the past, but I haven't practiced them for months in the case of Spanish, or even years in the case of Portuguese. And quite frankly, if I were asked right now out of the blue to have a conversation in Spanish or in Portuguese, I would struggle just because I am not practiced. But if I would get to warm up a little bit, then I would be able to have a conversation. So be sure that your language is not forgotten, it is just a little bit rusty. So if you have had a good level in French before and you haven't practiced in a while, it's okay. Know that your language is not gone, it's just a little bit rusty because your neural pathways have grown weaker, but you can get to your previous level quite easily with some targeted practice. If your French has become rusty, or you want to improve your French no matter your level, the best thing you can do is to adopt the practices that I recommend on this channel. The strategies that will give you the best results are the same no matter what your level is, provided that you actually practice them. Like many things, it works if you work it. So I have put all the key practices in this playlist, which I recommend you watch next. I will leave you with it, and I will see you next Monday.